Welcome to another installment of Movie Madness. Here is part of the New England Clam Chatter family of programs. I'm Jim Roddy, joined by my close personal longtime friend, Mr. Kyle Nolan. Unfortunately, this week we have several of our peers are on vacation.
I've known you for a whole, 4 months.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
All right, well, I don't know if we have an outbreak of herpes or something like that, but there's no one here with us.
True.
Joe H. on vacation. Kyle H. nowhere to be found. Nick H. nowhere to be found.
Well,
Connor Smith.
He is somewhere to be found. He just has other plans.
Well, we know what kind of plans he has, but that's a different story. We can't even talk about that on this podcast. And Connor Smith is probably longing for weather where he can put on his purple hoodie again.
Yeah.
He probably misses that.
He's just going to stay inside until it's winter again.
Well, you've heard it in some parts of the country, people get depressed during the winter. I think Connor gets depressed during the summer because he can't wear the purple hood.
He feels the most himself when he has it on.
He almost feels naked without it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we had a lot to catch up on in the world of movies. Many summer blockbusters have come out since the last time we had a chance to get together and talk almost about nothing about movies.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Well, I saw Dark Phoenix.
How was that?
It was a massive train wreck.
Really? So I didn't waste my time by not going then.
Yeah, they kind of just gave up and threw in the towel. It was just a total disaster from start to end. There was some funny parts, but mostly it was just very boring. And
I am someone that doesn't know too much about the comic book type movies. Was this a sequel to other X-Men?
This is like the 10th or 11th X-Men or whatever. The timeline in which all of them takes place is so ridiculously convoluted and confusing, and they just don't give a shit anymore. Like, I don't know if you remember, there was one X-Men First Class that came out in 2011.
I remember that.
It took place in the 60s, starring Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy. It's like the young X-Men. It's like the prequel X-Men. This new one takes place in the 90s, and they all look the same age.
Really?
Yep.
All right,
They didn't even give them even gray hair. They all look exactly the same.
Let's lazy.
Yep.
I guess I'd call that without seeing all of them.
Everyone before that takes place in a different decade for some reason. Like the sequel to First Class was in the 70s, and then Apocalypse was in the 80s. For some reason, they just keep making it take place in different decades, but they don't get older. So it's just like...
Will there be another one that takes place maybe in the 20s?
There will not be another one because...
You really believe that?
No, I'm sure, because Marvel bought Fox, which includes X-Men, so eventually... Marvel is in MCU, Disney, Avengers.
Okay, I got you.
So eventually they're going to reboot X-Men and do their own version in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Do you think that has more potential?
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty low bar after Dark Phoenix.
Do you think Marvel producing their movies will be a good thing or a bad thing?
It can't be worse than Dark Phoenix. So
really? It was that bad?
There's nowhere to go than up.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
3.
3, really? That bad?
Yeah.
We, to make sure that nothing made sense on this show, we saw the movie Rocket Man not too long ago, a tribute to the famed homosexual Elton John. Very interesting movie. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. It wasn't completely about the sexuality, although a big part was in it. It was an interesting movie. Did you hear anything about Rocket Man?
I heard that it was like less of a straightforward biopic and more of like a musical.
No pun intended. It was not straight.
I walked right into that one.
Well, hopefully not. Elton likes to go straight forward, but so we've heard, and you would have seen in the movie. There was part musical. It told a very nice story. My foot was tapping throughout the movie. I was surprised that I liked it as much as I did. On a 1 to 10, I'd probably give it about a 7.
7, yeah.
Yeah.
So like good, not amazing, just good.
Yeah, I wouldn't rush out to buy the DVD.
Yeah.
If I came across it on HBO in a year, I'd probably watch it again with no reservations. Yeah, that's usually how I grade it. 9 or a 10, I'd go buy it. 7 or an 8, I'd watch it again.
Yeah.
So Dark Phoenix is not on that type of a list for you. There will be no DVD purchase.
There are some, like 2 or 3 funny moments that I might look up on YouTube just to laugh. But
for free.
Yeah, but the majority of the movie is just boring and dull and just like frustrating and stupid. They don't give a shit. Like everyone is throwing in the towel. Some actors are better than others, but no one gave a shit. None of the writers, none of the actors, they were just all phoning it in. It was just they kind of gave up.
They were just hoping with some good CGI and releasing it in the summertime, they'd hit a couple $100 million. Is
it
that what you think?
Too,
really?
Which, yeah.
Didn't do well?
Which is good, because I'd be very worried if this movie made a lot of money.
Are there too many superhero movies now? I know, and I'm a man that doesn't know too much about them. I know you had Endgame, I know you had Dark Phoenix, and I know you have Spider-Man.
Well, there's also Captain Marvel this year.
When does that come
Shazam.
out?
They both already came out.
Oh, all right. Well, I missed that one too, I guess. But I'm just talking about the short period in the summertime releases.
Yeah. I mean, the summer season is starting earlier and earlier every year. Like, Endgame came out in April, late April.
It has, yeah. April has started to see some pretty big releases. I remember over the past few years, not just comic book movies, but in general.
I remember a few years ago when summer movie season started in June, and then it was May, and now it's April. So it's just getting earlier every year.
Used to be, the rule of thumb was around Memorial Day, maybe the weekend before.
Yeah.
But now, like you said, April sometimes you see some pretty big blockbusters come out, which is interesting. Do you think Dark Phoenix maybe got hurt because it was kind of close to the tail end of Endgame's big run and kind of close to the beginning of Spider-Man, what you imagine would probably be a big run?
I think it failed because of bad word of mouth and production disaster. It was delayed 3 times. There was they reshot the entire ending. They didn't do any.
It's almost like this podcast.
They didn't do any press screenings, which is never
definitely
a good sign.
Like this podcast.
So they were very obviously afraid to release this movie, and it shows.
Did it have a big opening week?
No, it bombed.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe then before the reviews got out, do you think maybe that it was people only had enough appetite for so many comic book type movies in a short period of time, or no?
Well, people for years have been citing the whole comic book fatigue thing, but Endgame is the second highest grossing movie ever, so I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon.
Well, that was the Super Bowl of these comic book movies.
Yeah, it's going to be a while, because that had all the build-up, 22 movies before it. So it's going to be a while before a movie like that, not even just superhero, just a movie in general, gets that close to the #1 spot. And it still didn't beat it, even though it was re-released, it still didn't beat Avatar, which is kind of annoying.
The original Avatar you're talking about?
Blue People Avatar, James Cameron.
Isn't there a sequel coming out to that?
There's 4 sequels, eventually. Who knows?
Isn't one supposed to be coming out within maybe the year or so?
No, a few years. It actually got delayed recently again.
Oh, didn't? Why?
Because when Disney bought Fox, they changed a bunch of the release dates.
Oh, I gotcha.
But the whole James Cameron is obsessed with it because he's trying to make it, as much of a technological achievement as the first one. So it's going to be over a decade before the sequel is released, and I don't know if anyone will care by then.
Yeah, I watched that one, and I have to say I was a little on the confused side.
I watched it once in theaters and never saw it again, just like everyone.
So you wouldn't give that one a 7 or an 8 then, that you'd watch it again?
I don't even remember.
I remember what it looked like. I remember that Sigourney
Weaver
Weaver was about the size of these big avatars, but that's about it.
It was a CGI kind of showcase and really nothing much else. It was a movie that was marketed as, you got to see it in theaters in 3D because it's the CGI is so good, and that's why it's still the top grossing movie ever, because everyone bought 3D tickets, which are almost twice as more.
It was kind of a hustle, a con, so to speak.
Yeah.
They didn't sell more tickets than other movies, but they had the upsell because
they did both. They sold more tickets and the tickets cost more, and it stayed #1 at the box office for months. It never dipped.
That's kind of interesting. Maybe you'd know better than I. Is there some kind of a website online that calculates the difference between the gross and the number of tickets sold?
Probably. I mean, there's Box Office Mojo, which I check every once in a while just for the weekends.
You get your mojo on.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've heard.
But I don't know if it counts ticket sales.
I'd be interested in the actual. Both numbers actually would interest me.
Yeah.
Because I look back at Titanic. What did that gross overall? But how many tickets did that sell back in '97 and '98?
That's still in the top 5.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 or 4.
I'd be interested to see what movie has sold the most amount of tickets would be as opposed to the total.
I think it's Gone with the Wind.
What's that?
I think it's Gone with the Wind.
Well, it almost sounds like this podcast too. It is Gone with the Wind.
Well, it was because back then there was one movie in theaters
for years.
Week. Yeah, so that's the one movie everyone
if
saw.
If you wanted to go to the movies, you had to see Gone with the Wind.
If you want to go to the movie.
Right,
one.
right. Yeah, it really. it was truly a movie theater back then because there was only one theater, not
so
20
adjusted for inflation. That's still number one.
Oh, all right. Just you taught me something.
Just numbers wise, it's still Avatar. Unfortunately, I was rooting for Endgame to beat it.
Did it come close?
It came very close. It's
really?
It was like 20 million off.
20 million?
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's
you
not
think
that
they
much.
would have kept it in the theater just?
Well, they did, and then they re-released it recently with like a few extra scenes, and it still didn't beat it. It was like one final attempt to just try to go for it, and it still didn't beat it, which broke my heart.
Interesting. Are you looking forward to the Spider-Man that I think came out
yesterday?
Last night, yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing it this weekend, most likely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, our executive producer, is that one that we're going to see to have a little bit of common sense and ebb and flow on Movie Madness here as part of the New England Clam Chatter family of programs.
It might be the first movie ever that we all talk about.
He hasn't spoken into my headset yet. I don't hear him. Is that a possibility? Did you hear that signal?
I didn't hear anything.
No. I thought maybe I heard some kind of a beep with a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Because my vision isn't good without my glasses. You know how that goes. I'm very vain, though.
Same. Can't see anything now.
Well, see, you just wear them so you try and keep all the Clam Chatter groupies away from you. Between that and all the females that know your music.
Oh, wow. Wow, thank you.
For the big concert you have coming up. You don't even have time to see these summer blockbusters.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm still on the, watching movies at home thing.
Well, with your big DVD collection.
That's true. My big Blu-ray collection.
The big Blu-ray. See, I do it every time, don't I? I insult the collection.
Yeah.
Because I
How
say
dare
it's
you
Blu-ray.
say I collect DVDs?
I degraded it. I apologize. Any big Blu-rays that have come out of late that you've added to the collection?
Recently, I've been just spam listening to like a whole bunch of new music because I got Apple Music, so it's like my music renaissance. I've listened to more new music than I have in like the past years, just within the last month.
Why?
Because I got Apple Music, so I'm just downloading all these albums for free.
So describe Apple Music to someone that doesn't know what it is like me.
Spotify?
Yeah.
It's Apple's version of that.
If you have an iPhone?
Yeah, it's just a streaming service.
How much does that run you?
Well, there's a few different plans. Right now, if you have a school email, like I do, it's $5 a month. A single plan otherwise is $10, and a family plan is $14.
And what did you take?
Well, I started my 3-month trial with the
It was
anticipation of getting the Berkeley email.
Yeah.
So now that I have that, it's $5.
You already have the Berkeley email.
That's true.
All right, you slid right in. I like that. Early access.
Yeah.
Easy access across the board. Well, anything new on Netflix that might be of interest to the fans at home?
There's a 15-minute short film directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Do you know who that is?
No.
He directed There Will Be Blood, Punch Drunk Love, The Master, Phantom Thread, Boogie Nights.
I think I've seen the first and the last one that you mentioned.
There Will Be Blood,
Boogie Nights and There Will Be Blood. Okay.
Yeah.
And he has a new short film on
Well,
Netflix.
it's a promotional thing for, Tom York.
No.
Radiohead.
No. The band?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's the main singer of Radiohead, and he has a solo album coming out.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's like a documentary?
No,
or?
it's like a little extended music video with a few of his songs from his new album. It's called Anima. It's like a 15-minute visual kind of thing. It's pretty interesting.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was like some cool choreography and visuals. It's not anything amazing, but it's like Tom York kind of going around a subway, doing some choreography with some visuals and stuff.
I don't understand short films. I'm going to be honest.
Why not?
I like long ones. Well,
I like long ones. Quote it here. You heard it first here.
Well, I did see the Elton John movie, so there you go. But no, what I mean is, what's a 10-minute, 15-minute movie?
Well, it's a lot less of a time commitment.
True.
So if there's something you're interested in, you can just pop it on and it's done. You don't have to. You don't have to clear your schedule out as much if you were to see a full movie.
Well, I feel like if it's something I enjoy, I'm going to be disappointed that it's going to be over so quick.
Well, some concepts like that, this one in particular, only work within a 10, 15-minute time period. There are some one-off small concepts that you can't really make a whole movie out of. But
you're
make a little short
probably
film.
right about that. As you are about many
That's-
things here on
thank you.
Movie Madness.
That's what YouTube's for too.
Well, there you go. We're about halfway through the summer season of movies now that it is July.
Are we?
3rd.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You're talking if you say May.
Yeah, that's true.
Mayish, and then the summer kind of ends around Labor Day. We're about halfway through.
Yeah.
What in the second half, other than Spider-Man, what do you have on the list?
Midsummer.
Oh, we talked about that one. That one looked good.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Who's in that one? But what's it about?
It's the Tarantino movie with Leo and Brad Pitt.
That's right. I saw the trailer for that not too long ago.
Let's see. As I do, it
You're
seems
gonna
every
cheat.
episode I have to check.
You got to go to the phone.
Schedule.
And I think I see Cecil the Lion in the booth looking at his phone right now.
Ooh.
Up there in technical directing. Very impressive, Cecil. Well, we've been trying to get schedules together to see some of these movies together, or even the same movies. So I think this is gonna be interesting.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely seeing Spider-Man eventually.
Well, I'm waiting for him to give me a big thumbs up from the control room about Spider-Man, either thumbs up or thumbs down. Oh, he gave me the yes. Now, Cecil, would that be a regular screening or a 4D?
Regular.
You don't want the 4D.
I was not picking the 4D.
Well, all right. Cecil got a little nervous. Cecil, I don't know if you're familiar with this, Kyle, actually suffers from extreme gluten problems, and I think being in the
What does 4D have to do with it?
well, moving with the gluten problems, I think
Oh.
it shook things up a little bit.
Oh, is that the thing with the chair
Yeah.
shakes? Oh, I would never, ever do that.
Have you ever been to Universal Studios in Florida?
No.
Then that's why you wouldn't enjoy it.
Is it?
Once
Do you
you
watch
go-
like actual movies or like tech demos?
At the movie or at Universal
Yeah.
Studios?
Universal.
Well, the rides are probably 8 minutes long.
But you're not watching movies. It's just like a fun like experience.
Well, it's kind of like almost like a movie short, I guess, like the Simpsons one, for example. You go into, it almost looks like you're on an amusement park ride, what you sit in, and
Yeah.
then the screen is gigantic, and it feels like you're actually in the movie, and you go up, you go down, you go side to side, the sense. So I don't like real roller coasters. I will not
either.
go on one.
Me either.
Well, see, we'd have fun at Universal then, because there's only 1 or 2 roller coasters.
See, that's fine, but I wouldn't want to watch a whole movie where it's doing that. Like that's like the
So
worst.
you think the ride would be fun, but you think
I would.
a
I want to
movie-
focus on the movie and watch it, not worry about my seat jerking
But
around.
see, the only movies that they put in the 4D are those like superhero movies. They're not going to put
well, I still want to relax.
Rocket Man, for example, in it. Well, you know what? Elton may have liked the 4D, but
yeah.
you just want to relax.
We should invite Elton on this podcast. I think.
I'd love to have Elton on.
Let's have Elton and Taron Egerton, the guy who played him. Well, no, it's funny. You know the Kingsman movies? You see the second one?
I don't think so.
So Elton John has like an extended like cameo in that. He plays himself, but it's like he's in multiple scenes and he's like a minor kind of part. And the main actor in the Kingsman movies is the guy who wound up playing Elton John.
Really?
And they have scenes together in Kingsman.
Isn't that funny?
So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you have any interest in Rocket Man?
No.
Why is that, being the musical man that you are?
I'm pretty selective with what I see in theaters, especially because it's kind of a pain.
Well, I've been trying to tell Cecil, I think the movie pass is the way to go on that.
Yeah, but I don't see enough movies
Well,
in a week.
The point of the matter is that would encourage you to go and actually see the movies to review, I think, was the point of contention.
But it's all movies I don't want to see. That's the issue.
Well, I mean, hey, look at Siskel and Ebert. I mean,
well, they had a show and a job. That's different. I'm just
what is this?
I'm just Joe Schmo customer.
What is this?
This is not Siskel and Ebert. I'm sorry
This
to
is
break it
not
to you.
Siskel and Ebert.
I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you, but it's
Well,
not Siskel and Ebert.
all I know is what it is that this is Movie Madness, part of the New England Clam Chatter family of programs.
Nice plug.
Nice plug. Did you see any of the horror ones that are out that have interested me? The third Annabelle and Child's Play
No.
were on my list, but
I could not be less interested in this.
Why is that? I like the horror movies.
Because they both look like garbage.
Do you like any form of the horror movies?
I do.
And what is that?
Like my favorite movie ever probably is the new Suspiria, the remake of Suspiria.
The remake of what?
Suspiria.
I feel like I'm missing out on something because I like the
are.
way you think a lot of the times, and I'm a big horror movie fan, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
This movie, I could go on about it for hours and hours and hours.
Well,
It's a
maybe you
masterpiece.
found the perfect platform then here on New England Clam Chatter.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a movie I could just endlessly talk about. I love.
Well,
every
what's it
single-
about?
So, it's about a girl who joins a dance studio. So I'm talking about the plot to the original and the remake are a little different. So I'm strictly talking about the remake, which is the version I love. So it's a girl who joins a dance studio in 1977 Berlin, which is secretly a coven of witches.
Ooh. But I'm going to imagine there's a lot of subtitles in this one.
Not some. It's an American movie.
It is?
But there's some subtitles, like of characters speaking different languages.
I've never heard of it. When did the original one come out?
70s.
When did the new one come out?
2018, last year. And just already, I've seen it like 7 times.
Where's it available?
Probably like iTunes and Amazon. It's an Amazon original, Amazon Studios original.
Oh,
so I think it's on like Prime. It's probably on like iTunes. It's on. I got the Blu-ray, of course.
Well, there you go. Was it released at the movie theater?
Yeah. Oh my God, I wish I saw it in theaters. Holy shit.
Suspiria.
It's
not on Netflix because of the Amazon tie-in, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not for everyone though. It's not. If you like, it's very long. It's somewhat slow. It's a slow burn, but holy fuck, does it ever pay off? The ending is like one of the best endings I've ever seen.
You're not going to spoil it for me.
I'm not going to spoil it. It's. I don't know if if you see it, if you react to it as strongly as I did, but I had this like religious, like spiritual, like unbelievable experience watching that movie first time. It was like. I was like, where has this been all my life? Like, I just fell in love with it immediately.
Now, where did you see it? At home?
Yeah, actually, I bought the Blu-ray because I knew I'd probably like it. I'm like, oh yeah, this looks good, but I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, and I've seen it like 7 or 8 times since.
How often do you buy the Blu-ray before you've seen it in the theater?
Not that often. It has to be a movie that
just like me.
Yeah, it has to be a movie that I know I'll at least like it to some level.
Well, we're upset you missed.
Yeah, true.
Suspiria. You're going to have you text that to me because I know I'm going to forget the name of it.
Yeah.
But I want to check it out if you put it over so strongly. I've found some of your suggestions to be rather interesting from the Nolan Netflix list.
Yes.
All right. Well, so why Child's Play and Annabelle, they look stupid to you?
Yeah, they look awful.
Why? Did you see any of the Annabelles?
No.
Not your type of movie
They
at all?
also look like shit.
Have you seen anything in the Conjuring universe?
I have not.
Really?
Yeah.
Not your cup of tea?
Not
or
my
you
cup
just
of
don't
tea.
think you could handle it? I think maybe you'd be a little nervous.
No.
Just pull the blanket up over your head a little bit.
I think I'd be bored, and
Really?
I want to shut it off. Yeah.
Did you like the first Paranormal Activity?
I didn't see it.
All right. Well,
That one doesn't look as bad.
I think
at least
you
the
should.
first one.
A lot of people hated that because it was slow.
Yeah.
But I don't mind
There's
slow
a difference
as long
between
as there's a reason behind it.
Yeah, exactly. There's a difference between slow and boring and slow and like interesting. Like Suspiria like is one of those movies where like there's all these puzzle pieces that fit into like setting up the ending, and it's all just this huge like slow steady build, and then it just like explodes at the end.
Is it tense?
Oh yeah.
I like
there are
tension.
some like I've seen it so many times where I'm like desensitized, but like there were some people I wouldn't recommend this movie to because I don't think they could handle it.
Really? Well, you make me want to rent this now before I head away on my Marathi July vacation.
There is quite a few grotesque, disturbing moments that we go, ooh, like.
Well, you should be down here at the Christmas party and watch these people eat.
To tie everything together, Tom York, lead singer of Radiohead, did the whole soundtrack for the movie.
Oh, really?
So it's this like, it's this cool like the movie takes place in the 70s and it has this very 70s like style to it, like those quick zoom-ins and like the way it's edited and like some of the music choices and like the way it looks. It's very 70s, but like it's this kind of modern soundtrack, and it creates this cool kind of juxtaposition, as they say.
Now, if I go out of my way to find this and it costs me money and I don't like it, you're going to be on the list.
I told you it wouldn't. It's not for everyone.
But knowing my version of crazy, do you think I'd enjoy it?
I don't know.
Are there any other horror movies you could compare it to?
No, honestly.
Nothing.
There's nothing.
There's
nothing I've seen that I can compare it to. It's really something else. I've never seen anything like it.
It's almost like a challenge.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah.
We'll have a nice follow-up on this.
Don't expect it to be one of those movies where like every single scene is like horror related. Like it's a lot of like really intricate like story and world building and just kind of atmosphere. The atmosphere is like one of the real reasons I love it. It's just like it has this like just like this uneasy like unnerving tone throughout the entire thing, even when it's not showing like really grotesque shit.
It was almost like that short film Midnight that came out a few years back.
What's
Did you
that?
see that one?
I did not.
Midnight? No? It was filmed in the area. It was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Took me a second. Yeah. Okay.
It's unfortunate the original was deleted. Maybe we could have actually showed you Midnight, but that's all right. It's 1:45 at this point. So anything else in the second half of the year? You've scoffed at my horror movie suggestions. You're looking forward to Spider-Man. What we talked about?
Yeah.
Midsummer.
I mean, I'm looking. Yeah, I'm looking way more forward to Midsummer than Spider-Man. Yeah. But like,
now when does Midsummer come out?
I think this Friday.
Cecil the Lion in the booth. When are we going to see Midsummer along with Spider-Man?
Saturday.
I'm going to be away.
Next week.
All right, good enough. Next week. Do you want to wait and see it with us?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I'll play it by ear. For Midsummer, I'm gonna wait a little after
Get the
because
Blu-ray?
no, because that too maybe.
Maybe get the Blu-ray.
But because with horror movies especially, I find that they're the most obnoxious like theater audiences.
You've mentioned that before.
I have.
All right, that's fair enough. Well, maybe
So
we can wait.
I'd rather wait till like it's like me and like maybe 2 people in the theater, so I can just zone into the movie.
Go on a Tuesday afternoon at noon.
That should be pretty good.
Yeah. What else other than those?
This year?
This summertime. I know it too. I'm looking forward to, but that's still
like
that's
September.
a fall movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the end of the summer season, which I think is very smart. They wait for all those big movies to be done, then they sneak in and make their money
when nothing else is around it.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I know of that I plan on seeing is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There's nothing. I just checked all the movies. That's the only one besides Spider-Man and Midsummer.
So those are the 3 that are left on the Nolan hit list.
That I know of, unless there's some
big surprises.
Yeah, unless some movie out of nowhere that I haven't heard of.
Suspiria too.
No.
No. All right.
I hope they please don't make a sequel. That would ruin it.
Anything good in the world of streaming? I know a lot of the folks out there have Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu.
Mm-hmm. There's
what's streaming right now?
A really good, like, accessible, kind of simple, heartwarming movie that came out a few months ago. It's called Paddleton on Netflix.
Paddleton.
Yeah, it's not a weird Kyle movie, 2.5 hour art house horror thing. It's a very like accessible, simple, straightforward movie, but it's like super heartwarming. It's about.
It warmed your heart.
It did. It gave me the feels. It was very sweet and genuine.
You think it would give Elton the feels?
I don't know in that way. Maybe in a different way. It stars Ray Romano and another guy whose name I forget, but he's the co-director, and I'll look it up while I'm explaining it. So the other guy is diagnosed with like terminal illness, and Ray Romano it's not like explicitly said, but he's like somewhat like on the spectrum kind of thing.
Of autism?
Yeah. Mark Duplass is his name. Yeah, he wrote it. He didn't direct it. So it's Mark Duplass playing Michael, Ray Romano playing Andy, and they're best friends in like a condo, and Mark's character gets diagnosed with terminal illness, and he wants to have Ray Romano's character help him with assisted suicide.
Someone on the autistic spectrum.
Yeah.
That'd be like having me ask the puppet to help me with the end of my life.
Yeah. So it's like, it sounds like it's just like all depressing, but it's pretty lighthearted for the most of it. It's like it is sad at points, but it's not like really trying to like hammer down the sadness. It's mostly kind of lighthearted and fun, and like there's obviously
it's a happy movie about suicide.
I mean, there are some definite sad parts, but like it's not like forced. Like it feels really real. I think it's not cheesy at all. It's just super straightforward.
And what is that on?
It's a Netflix exclusive.
Netflix exclusive. Well, you know what? I have access to Netflix. Maybe I'll check that out.
It's short, sweet, straightforward, very touching, heartwarming. I liked it.
All right. Well,
it's no Suspiria.
You have some very interesting picks in your mind.
I know.
It's a unique brain you have in there.
Thank you, Dan.
What else do we have going on in the world of entertainment? I don't know. I haven't seen any time cues from the director's booth up there, but that'll come when I guess it is time.
Like anything or just movies?
Well, movies. Streaming. Whoop. Chords that I knocked all over the floor. Oh, that's all right. It's not mine.
I'm trying to think of like new releases.
Is there anything that's out of the theater now that you wish you saw? No.
No. Not that I can think of right now. I'm sure I'll think of something.
All right. Well, and where is your theater of choice for Spider-Man? Over in
AMC.
Somerville?
Yeah.
You're a big AMC guy.
Yeah.
You don't like the stereotypical fans that go to the theater in Revere. Is that
I go there for movies I've either seen already or don't care about.
I like the popcorn better in Revere.
I don't have the popcorn either, so.
What do you get?
If I'm at AMC, nothing. If I'm at Revere, pretzel.
You like the hot pretzels?
The pretzel is the reason I go to Revere sometimes.
Like, really?
I wouldn't.
Now maybe you understand my thought about the popcorn.
Yeah, that's. I get that. But like, I used to go to Revere when I was little, and I get a pretzel every time. So that's like childhood memory.
Of the Nolan movie tradition.
Yeah. So now, like every time, like I go to see a movie that I don't give a shit about, I'm like, all right, I'm going just to get the pretzel, and I don't care about the movie. Like if a friend wants to go, you know.
Were there as many scum at the movie theater when you were a child as there is now? In your mind.
I think I just didn't care as much when I was little.
You do.
I'm like bothered by like every little sound that people make in the audience, so I try to. That's why I like watching stuff alone.
What about Toy Story 4? Is that on your list?
No, I might catch that like when it comes out, like on VOD or whatever.
VOD.
Yeah, like if it goes on Netflix.
All right.
Not something I'm rushing out to see.
Have you seen any of the other Toy Stories?
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
Oh, really? I remember I saw. Oh, what was it called? It was a week ago as I was in Las Vegas. Now, here I am in Las Vegas, Nevada, and saw Incredibles 2.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters.
Well, guess who was quickly out cold?
Like asleep?
Asleep during Incredibles 2. No, Cecil the Lion will not go to Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Or much of anywhere outside of Melrose.
The Iron Sheik?
No.
Iron Sheik going seeing Incredibles 2.
I've never been with the Sheik to the movie theater. I've been with the Sheik many places, but never a movie theater. That would be kind of interesting.
Was it the puppet?
No, I don't think you'd. Well, I'll tell you off the air about this one. I don't know if he wants to be named.
Gotcha.
One of those type situations. But after my...
Professor? Maybe.
Come on now.
Maybe.
Do you imagine him trying to sit down with that stick up his ass in a movie theater chair?
It'd be really uncomfortable.
It would be very uncomfortable.
He doesn't have his custom seat with the hole sticking out so the stick can protrude.
Instead of a toilet, he'd have to have his own custom little hole in there. Well, you know what? I think we've burned through all the topics of conversation. Am I forgetting anything today?
This is the most we've talked about movies in any of these episodes.
Well,
consecutively at once.
We have to blame Joe then.
I guess so. That's the only...
I don't know if he's ill or if he's on assignment, but we have to blame him.
I guess so. Fuck you, Joe.
And maybe it was because of the great job Cecil did giving us a script with bullet points. We had something to work with this time.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. Mm-hmm. All right, can we get any other cheap plugs in, or is this that?
Come see me at Berkeley next year.
Go see you where?
Come see me at Berkeley next year.
You just want to have people randomly come up to you at Berkeley?
See me at shows. Don't come up to me randomly.
Do you have tickets on sale for your big concert coming up? Is it open to the public?
Yeah, but it's really far. It's in Waltham, so.
Well, it's really not that far.
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
Is there a website?
They have like a Twitter, but the tickets don't go on sale for a while.
I think you said it was July 24th.
Yeah, but it's still not on sale yet.
Tickets still aren't on sale yet. Fair enough. Well,
it's not up to me.
Well, maybe we can plug it on the next episode then.
Sure.
Since I'm sure this is, as usual, planned to be a weekly program. All right, so for my good friend Kyle Nolan, everyone that's not here, Connor Smith, Nick Hoffman. Did I say Kyle Smith?
Yep.
Connor Smith.
Kyle Smith, Connor Nolan.
Whatever, all the three of them.
Fancina.
Plus Joe H. Well, we know where Fancia is.
Fancina.
Well, I was just making sure you know how to say it right. That's
testing
all.
me this time.
I was testing you.
Gotcha.
We know where she is this summer. Mm-hmm. And she said this summer is going to be hot.
I'm sure she said that.
She said it's going to be a hot summer?
I'm sure she said that.
Oh, boy. Hot, sweaty, and sticky. That's the only way they know how. And for Joe H. on assignment, Cecil's up in the booth. Quincy Rastani's walking around with his Newt Gingrich-styled stomach. It's been a pleasure to have you here with us on Movie Madden as part of the New England Clam Chatter family of programs. Until we speak again, folks, you and yours, be well.